They absolutely did. It was very normal. My first dog I got at the end of that, and I loved her more than anything, but she was a menace because it was common, and I just let her wander because that's what people had done when I was a kid, and I didn't know any better. She was a menace. She would just wander off. She was a hell of a thief. We lived opposite a pub, and she loved going to the pub for starters. She learnt when it was pool night and darts night because they had sandwiches. And if there was a minibus for an away match, she'd just get on the minibus and go with them. One night I was woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning by the landlord because my dog had been in there. She'd stuffed herself on sandwiches. I mean, she was so fat at that time. And he'd woken up at 2 in the morning to find my dog raiding the crisp boxes because she'd woken up and fancied a snack. But the worst was when people down the road it was Sunday afternoon, and they had Granny and Grandma coming for tea. And they'd laid up, it was one of those through diners, the big picture window, 70s house at the front, and a through lounge diner, dining room at the back. They'd laid the table, tea for, two sorts of cake, sandwiches, all laid out lovely. Granny and Grandad had turned up. They opened the door, they go out, they're stood in the garden, look at the fish, look at that, oh, lovely, gone in. My dog's on the table, stuffing her face. She'd eaten all the sandwiches, the cake. She took one look at them and she spun round, and as she spun round, she took everything off the table and shot out the window. That's when he turned up on my doorstep, and I don't think I've ever seen an angrier man. She was a lovely dog, but she was a menace.